Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So we got something quite unbelievable today. Remember the Cash Me Outside girl? She was on Dr. Phil.
Cash me outside, how about that?
And she became a meme, was known for kind of getting in trouble and being on the wrong side of things, getting in fights. Well, guess what? She has made over $50 million at the age of 19 years old from her OnlyFans. And just for reference, the CEO of Apple made $99 million. And she's catching up to him on OnlyFans. So how about this? Let's go over her finances, see how much money she really made, go over all of her income sources, and I will give you my own thoughts on how she is doing as an entrepreneur, as a personal finance channel here on YouTube. But first, if you wouldn't mind, cashing that like button outside for the YouTube algorithm, it would help me out tremendously. Now, with that said, let's get into the video. Now, for those that don't know, Danielle Bregoli became famous in September of 2019 when she was on Dr. Phil at the age of like 13 years old, and she said to Dr. Phil, "Cash me outside, how about that?" And Dr. Phil was like, "Catch me outside? How about what?"
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
Cash me outside, how about that? And she just became this instant viral sensation. And I remember right after that, she got so many deals, she got so many followers. She really actually ran with it quite well, in my opinion, because a lot of people who become memes like that are not able to carry through with the momentum. They're able to build up an initial following, they get a little attention, and then they kind of fade away into the abyss. But Danielle was good about making sure the attention always came back on her in some way, whether she was starting fights with people, whether she was saying ridiculous stuff online, whether she was coming out with music. Honestly, I think anything she did was purely about getting the spotlight back on her, long enough apparently until she could turn 18 years old, at which point she started an OnlyFans. Now, when she first joined the platform after turning 18 years old, she says that she's made over $1 million in the first few hours, which I'm not gonna get into it about like how many people were sitting there just waiting for her to turn of legal age so that they could pay for her OnlyFans. I mean, that's a subject. I'll let someone else cover that. But we're here to talk about the money and the finances and the business of Danielle Bregoli, because it gets a lot crazier. Apparently, in addition to making a lot of money online, she wasn't necessarily stupid about it. It's not like she's going out, blowing all of her money, and then she's gonna be broke. Instead, she actually took a fairly reasonable approach and started buying real estate. In fact, she bought the $6.1 million Florida mansion all cash because most likely she doesn't have the credit score to get a loan. But with the amount of money she's making, why even bother at this point? Just pay cash for everything, and who cares? She's making so much money. Now, it's also claimed, in addition to that $6.1 million house, that she bought another one for $3.67 million in the same neighborhood with 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. She's also earned millions of dollars in brand deals from Fashion Nova and Copycat Beauty. And now, as of a few days ago in 2022, she posted on Instagram to show that she's made $53 million in gross revenue and $43 million net between April 2021 and April 2022 on OnlyFans. Now, you also have to keep in mind that in addition to that, she's also probably getting paid appearances to show up places, she's getting sponsorships, she's getting music deals, and she probably owns a few businesses or is involved in some other people's careers at the same time behind the scenes. So I wouldn't be surprised all in if Danielle Bregoli was probably making anywhere from $50 million on the low end to maybe as high as 70 to 75, maybe $80 million on the high end in 1 year as a 19-year-old, which is absolutely wild. Now, just for comparison here, the CEO of Nike made $53 million and the CEO of T-Mobile made $54 million in 2020. The median CEO in 2021 made $20 million. And here's Danielle Bregoli at 19 years old on OnlyFans making about 2 to 3 times that amount. Now, unfortunately, in light of all of this, her father stepped in to say that she was taken advantage of prior to the age of 18 years old and was really pushed into this industry to essentially become this cash cow revenue-generating system that turns out to just make a lot of money. But in the process, she feels like people did not have her best interest at heart. Now, in a way, I would kind of agree with this because you have to think, if she's starting an OnlyFans, as soon as she turns 18, there has to be something in the works prior to then to have that all set up for the infrastructure to make that happen. So it's entirely possible that people were pushing her in this direction before she turned 18, or maybe she just wanted to do this and this was her idea. could just as well be. Her father did go on record to say that, "I don't know what goes on the site, she's my daughter. But I'm sure that people only pay to look at a naked girl for so long, there has to be something more and more enticing for people to pay continuously." He also said, "I love you and hope that one day soon we'll be able to sit down and talk like adults to renew our relationship." So whether or not that actually happens is yet to be seen, but in terms of her career from a financial perspective, I would say either it's her or there's someone else very close to her that is monetizing just about anything that they can. From a financial perspective, it's worked out quite well in her favor. Even with this point, with 1 year's worth of income, she's essentially set for life. All she needs to do is just invest $40 million in the stock market, and living off just 3% of that, she'll be able to spend $1.2 million for the rest of her life indefinitely without ever running out of money and without ever earning another penny ever again. It just goes to show you that within a few years of just playing it smart and not being too stupid with your money, she will set herself up for easily $100 to $250 million net worth, which is crazy to think about when you consider that her OnlyFans revenue is this high, and if she can continue the momentum and continue building that relationship with her paying customers, honestly, I'd say the sky's the limit, and she has proved everyone wrong in terms of their expectations, and she's come a far way from breaking outside that cash me outside girl like so many people fall into the memes and just never get out of it. I also find it odd how these celebrity net worth calculators are probably so off. It says here she has a net worth of $20 million, which, if this is her only year of making a lot of money, probably, but I would venture to say, if we're gonna really break down the numbers here, she probably made about $70 million over the last year. Prior to that, she's probably making about $1.5 to $2 million a year. So let's just say over the last few years, she's made $85 million. From that, she's probably paid out about $15 million in random expenses, fees, living expenses, security, whatever. She's made about $70 million. Since I believe she lives in Florida, there's no state income tax right there, so most likely she's walking away with about $45 million, and that would be after tax. Then let's even just assume she spends $10 million on random crap. She's never gonna get that back. And that's like the worst case scenario. She's probably not spending that much money. That would leave her with a $35 million net worth, with the majority of that coming in the last year alone. So I would say, Danielle, if you could keep this up for just 3 years, that's it. You have a net worth of $100 million, you could do whatever you want, and no one will ever call you the cash me outside girl ever again, because you have enough money to cash everyone else outside. How about that? That's bad. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.